Salutations, labdien, labvakar, moshi, I forgot that one. Are you ready to start the inaugural, the devilish, the horrid, and most confounding modpack ever created by the god-hating coders forced to be within the darkest layers of limbo, otherwise identified as Java? If you answered yes, Gregtech, New Horizons, has a spot open and ready to fill, with the bonus of no application needed. Who needs a job in the economy when the Greg stocks are up? The day is good. Gregtech New Horizons is the often quoted, at least by search result, to be the hardest modpack. This is untrue, not because I have completed Gregtech, instead I've completed Pyanodons, and am very familiar, one might say divorced, from reality and the concept of time spent on better things. This allows me to tell you immediately that Gregtech is a modpack more concerned with wasting time than meaningful challenge. Make no mistake, despite this heavy dose of negativity, I still follow John Updike's example and seek to perfect my criticism, and one of these routes is to acquire many a different experience. See what they've cooked up, in other words. Gregtech, given my dabbling in Pyanodons, shall be the appetizer. However, fair warning that it may not be common because I am not joking or being hyperbolic, this is going to take forever. That, and I am under no delusion that I can make 500 hours of mining footage look interesting, and I do not want to treat you all like a child. Fret not, there is still close to 80 hours distilled into a video, or two. Now, to the topic at hand, or rather, quota. Exploration of the vast tundra I spawned in, errant wood gathering, theft of any variety. I have no chair, yet this act feels foreign to observe nonetheless. A tinker's smeltery, all by its lonesome? I'll have to mark this down for reclamation later. The lease is 2 years out of date. Forestry. So bees are going to be thrust upon me, or would it be better to say stung upon me? Night time cometh, and the first hole of hiding is dug. Mark it down on the calendar. Now, to get cracking on the prospect of tools, gravel, wood, and Pam's harvestcraft is mandatory. I see starvation is included as a justification for food diversity. Gravel with a bit of flint. The Stone Age is beckoning. A quick return to the village to steal some things I left behind and take shelter. I witness a mugging and then subsequent explosion of the mugged. The zombie child versus a grown adult. No, wait, the child wins. Oh dear. Cutting a potato into a fry. Oh, microcrafting tools have durability. This will never not be an annoying mechanic. I do so love handcrafting. It follows me even here. One might say this is punishment for my sins of handcrafting. Oh, we have gambling? Well, sign me up. More gravel without the gavel. That is far too large a tree. Wait, is that a Biomes of Plenty redwood? Oh, I'm getting memories from server moderation again. The voices are getting louder. Quick and dirty, mobs hit harder, have special effects, and are overall more of a pain in the keister to deal with. The upside is that they drop a lot more things. Despite that, I am not going to make a mob farm unless I am dragged by my feet. I do not like making farms. I'd rather just have the game reward me naturally instead of exploiting things inherent. The swamp. Humid, wet, muddy, the perfect spot to set up shop. Dirt hut foundation set, we are so back. Would it shock you to know I hopped off at this point to play some Vintage Story for a week and then came back to the world's most annoying door recipe? Look at this, man. Dirt hole for the night. So nice, I did it twice. First death, noted and marked down. The spider is indeed a dangerous beast. Some things change and others don't. It is pouring down, my farm is going to flourish, and before you think I am considering aesthetics, it is very, very short-lived. A bed is also annoying. 2 fences, 3 wool carpets, a soft mallet, and 3 pieces of wood. Behold, a bed. And yes, the mallet, soft mallet in particular, also has durability. I'll take this moment to tell you, again, this mod will take time, and I see myself completing multiple other mod packs in different games before I reach the tier identified as HV. However, to smooth out this experience and to prevent bugs, I also have cheats turned on. Look, much as I love spending multiple days waiting for things to construct and get rolling in something like Factorio C Block, it is amusing only once from a viewing standpoint, and from a playing standpoint, I still have a life, responsibility to my aging family, and work responsibility whenever I can get it, not to mention personal and physical health. As such, if you see massive multi-blocks pop up, moved quickly or propagating faster than time says, it's because I want to keep a good pace for videos and not leave this entire mod pack unfinished like many a person has. I'd rather show the cooler aspects than spend 10 hours sorting inventory and doing pipe management. How bad could it be? I hear you ask. Oh, just 40 minutes for a crucial progression component not yet revealed. 40 fucking minutes of my real life time. I have limits, and I want to enjoy myself. If this demands me, and by extension my opinion, demeans me, I meant to say, I understand. But I'm not going to treat you, the viewer, or whoever you are, like some kind of fool or idiot either. And I should say this now, don't spoil me. I'll let you know what bit of progression I am on now and keep it early in the videos. I know how people get with technical mod packs in many a game. You are passionate, but have patience. I am currently in early LV, so that is your barometer to use. Now, back to the progression. Who in their right mind would ever beat this mod pack from scratch or on Skyblock? What kind of neurotic affliction must you be cursed with? Wait, I've beaten all the Dark Souls games with true fists only. I rescind my insult. I get it. It's different this time because it's gravel and clay, and not solely gravel. A bit of cooked stone in the shape of a bowl and some flint knapped together to make a cudgel to crush and churn. And behold, the mortar and pestle, and it's gone. Shaders are a sometimes food, and the biome-specific color correction freaks out on occasion. As they say, Breaking Bad. Next comes paper. The cost? Wood pulp, which is pulped via mortar and pestle, and then placed around in a crafting grid with some water in the middle to make it stick together, and like that, paper. Paper for what? Tinker's Construct. Of course, repairable tools? In my mod pack? Satisfactory. Tool station, part builder, stencil table, stencil chest, tungsten carbide, hydronator. Oh wait, nope, that isn't in there. Whoops! Tinker's Construct is the classical and ancient mod pack for any serious repairable tools. Swapping out parts, alloying metal, but no enchantments, only enhancements. Right now, the limiting factor is materials, not quantity, mind you, but what I can get my hands on. Flint is, well and fine, so is wood, but they aren't hardy and tough, like iron or bronze. The first use case of my new shiny tools is theft of that village in the snow. They won't be needing these slabs, but I will. For what? More paper, obviously. The smeltery is also the next thing uprooted and returned to the rightful owner. That's me, by the by. Life is not easy. Bricks are still mandatory to be rock solid, and grout is required to make a proper functioning smeltery. Or well, to make it bigger. The only thing I truly need is faucets and an iron bucket. This is a factory adjacent mod for the time being, and it's either go big or go home. Oh, I'll miss that small factory feeling. Thankfully, it's just a pattern and a knife. I prefer some kind of chisel or axe, but I get the idea that it is a crafting action. A close encounter with another spider, this one of the infernal variety, and I clutch it up. For my clutch, I get a diamond. If only I could have reached that in Rainbow Six. But delusion will keep me fed this day. Oh wait, I got a diamond. I can add 500 whole points to my pickaxe. Well, to my Chris. No relation to any red fields. This is a nice building. I didn't know dungeon diving was a prospect in this pack. Coke bricks, clay, and a mold. Bada bing, a bit of smelting and some bricklaying, and like that, a properly formed coke oven. Now I can have even better fuel, charcoal and creosote. The Iron Age dawns, ye foolish and despaired. Black lung calls to us all. Though mass production of logs is required, and don't plant any of these in or near your base. In red, bold text. Tempting to make that mistake solely to figure out why it is there in the first place. Oh well, that's for later. According to the wizarding schools, this is what we call a hungry void, otherwise identified as a node from the hidden magical conundrum known as Thaumcraft. I've never touched Thaumcraft, nor had an interest, really, but my first being that crab sucked in by an underwater pressure pipe leads me to believe this is nothing to mess around with casually. Quick check-in with what I need for the smeltering. I got most of these despite what the quest book says. I need tin, so mining again. Lucky I found a few veins, but I get distracted and collect a bunch of these heart containers, and made them into a heart and... oh, it's a hardcore thing. That's cool. Mining away. I don't know what to say, I'll mine it anyway. Alright, time to gear up for my basic machines. Which is a lie, because it's microcrafting palooza time. Hey man, I heard you like the microcrafting, so we put some microcrafting in your microcrafting. Good lord, this is giving me a pulsing nerve like one of those animated cartoons. Oh yeah, and we have a finite watering effect, which is immediately undone by every other farming option. It is just progression locked until iron and a resin tree. 2 iron plates, a file and a hammer, a saw blade, a stick and the blade in question, saw blade proper, for cutting up anything into smaller and ridiculously fine pieces. Screw you! No, screw me, because I didn't twist it in right, but now I can with this handy screwdriver. Here is the list of what every tool's secondary use is. I'm glad the tools are here and this explainer is here, because I do frequently just forget what is what. Local swamp denizen drowns in mud. More at 11. The wrecks, which are meant to dry out. To work. To earn the right to work. To earn the right to work. To earn the right to give. Leather dried. A look over the map and the vein I found early. I chewed through it all, by the by. But not that tin vein. I need to fix that, actually. Yes, surely this absolutely inconspicuous melon, which totally grows within the humid and mud-slicked swamp and originates from the humble paper tree, and not the melon vine. Now, it is time for progression. Time to comprehend the great mystery of steel. I am getting memories of Vintage Story. Fantastic progression of steel in that game. Hopefully it doesn't take 12 hours and a ludicrous amount of coal. Right now, all we need is the right bricks and gypsum, as well as concrete proof to solidify my mortar. Another vein of mineral sands. Mostly iron, some other bits that are only useful with machinery to process, but good to know it exists. For the low price of stone, or in my case, I went dungeon diving and stole a metal pickaxe head, and some other bits and bobs, but regardless, what about progression? For that, I need brass, an alloy of copper and zinc. Shame no ball mold exists for the moment, I could sure use a pair. It is also needed for gallium arsenide. Oh boy, more fun periodic table memorization. Though, given I need to mine materials often, and very often at that, let me go find some redstone to enhance this damn pickaxe for all the labor I find myself engaged in. Though, this poses the question of what veins are, and for that I need a new tool, the Rod of Finding. Now, veins, as you glean from the name, have a set amount of ores, usually 2 to 3, sometimes more, of some variety, and they spawn at set levels, in this case the Y level, or height generally, to keep it simple. So why do I need a specific tool? Simple, I have to find a bit of the proper ore, not the small types mind you, because having normal chunks of ore is too forgiving and sifting through byproducts is mandatory, even without machines. Thankfully, I don't have to mine a piece, only lightly tap it, and then I figure out what the ore spread is. I like to do a swarmy and self-assured bit of humor, but the wand is never going to leave my inventory, and if I do, I have lost it due to my own idiocy, and you are required by law to comment, "He lost the wand," or something similar to that. Get creative with it. I trust you can give me a good jab. Though for this rod, I need redstone, because redstone makes things magnetic. As is common for me, I am immediately distracted by another goal, and that is kitchenware. I desire to make more filling meals, and not have to scarf down a whole 3 cucumbers, 2 pieces of rhubarb, and 1 whole head of cabbage to starve off, or, well, starvation. The mythical art of cutting, boiling, meal preparation is locked behind cooking with blockheads. Well, blocks. Distraction once more. Manufacturing is coming up, and steam power, my beloved. As such, convenient storage would be a cool and novel thing, but this is a multi-block with multiple levels. Incredible, really. Before you ask, yes, I try and succeed in making the biggest level of the tank and waste my own goddamn time. 2 veins worth of iron. Actually, no, more than that. I am my very worst enemy on many an occasion. That ironed out, grout mass-produced, bricks smelted, distraction once more, this time about breeding crops. In my defense, I was waiting for the bricks to smelt. The bricks are made with water. Are they inherently sticky? Is this the residue from the clay, sand, and gravel enough to form a natural adhesive from the smelting process that remains on the bricks themselves? No, I promised myself I wouldn't do any kind of realism arguments. It demeans me and video games in general. Build it up, mine it out, and like that, smelting operations. Well, 90% of the way there, but for that I'll need some special protection. Thick working gloves that don't necessarily protect but act as a resistance barrier for the roiling magma. Despite this, I failed to use them correctly and now have a requirement of needing new digits. Muscle memory makes me smelt down gold to make patterns. This is incorrect because brass is needed, not gold. Still, I need something to cast into, and lucky a bit of clay and a knife to cut out the bits. I want is the solution. These are used up in the process of smelting, mind you, but better than nothing. And just like that, a mold for a head, and now the Iron Age is in full swing. Though I did scavenge some zinc from my travels around the land, and it's enough for the basic assortment of 2-part molds. All except vital tool, the hammer. The hammer is my beloved, for it mines faster and in a 3x3 area. This bit of quality of life is locked behind steel. Steel? Correct, because a tool forge needs an alloy called obsidianite. That needs steel, obsidian, and zinc to make. I need 2 plates. 2 plates is 8 ingots. I need 16 ingots. Steel and zinc are in high demand. It is time to pull teeth and get to the most fundamental of basic automation. Go, my distraction chalcopyrite vein! I did mine some redstone, yes. I know I can throw in entire stacks. I figured this out soon enough. Be patient, I am slow in many departments. Some redstone rubbed into the metal. It is now magnetic. Time to go divine some more locations. Oh, look at that. Already paying off on the investment. 2 veins? I'm rich, baby. That investment is paying off immediately, to repeat myself. Full blocks are locked behind a single block machine, so I have to spam small bits of dust just to rub it on there. A strange black pillar. Oh, an entire basement full of bricks? Don't mind if I repossess this. This house doesn't need any kind of foundation, of course, and the residents are long since departed from this winter getaway. They won't know what hit them. Of course, I am immediately harassed by the children of those staying residents, and I am victim of child neglect as the child has a knife and is also undead. A new vein. I remember this for later. It'll probably be important. An underground fortress? Color me shocked that I just lucked upon it. Good thing I remember this for later and not at all forget about it. Oh hey, silverfish! Okay, now we move on to the prospect of machinery. And to cap this first part off, a crowbar is necessary. Shame it isn't red, otherwise I'd be a free man. The tin gives me 2 per 1 ore? That's a gain and a half. Self-healing tools. I feel I am an outcast because I never got the hubbub and hype around mending and its ilk. I'd much prefer the classical repair method of just beating ingots back into the tool. Some bronze plates from the bronze ingots, and like that, a wrench into the mix, plates to surround, and a furnace of one variety, or some, a coal boiler. We are now getting into the steam age. Or well, first dip into it, a toe dip. Of course, boiling water is very dangerous. Though nuclear is far off, that doesn't mean explosions from improper use are locked behind that tech tree. Running a boiler hot and then putting water in it will make boom. So not do that. The other machine I make is the alloy smelter. Why? Machines require complex alloys, but this is efficiency, because I can now just put ingots in, and that'll make me 1 ingot extra. I forgot, I just wanted to make another machine because I got bored mining. But with that bit of progression into the Steam Age or early Steam Age out of the way, now is the time when the program unfortunately ends, my dear guests. But fret not, for the show will be back. But it may not be the programming you expect. If this is your first time here or lost, I thank you for the patronage, returning or otherwise. Those buttons on this video I hear are used to record metrics of who is the best. I am unsure and require testing data, so give me a bucket load to sift through. I'll give you a crab if you do. The link tree is in the description, holds all the usual bits of information. Join the Discord to keep up to date, and be part of a burgeoning community of artists. Or to just chill your own art. Yell at me and get yelled at in return as well. Check out the Wattpad and Patreon for my web novel. It's free! And of course, if you want to support, the only way thus far is Patreon. But it's only $1. And for that, a microscopic artist trying to make it in the game. This doggone world. What's not to love? Though now, we go. Спасибо, братан.